In the sprawling command center of the USS Vanguard, a palpable tension filled the air. The crew, an assembly of some of Earth's finest minds and bravest souls, watched through the panoramic view screens as the alien fleet hovered ominously near Earth's orbit. The Vanguard, a flagship of humanity's interstellar navy, bore the weight of Earth's initial response. Admiral Maya Chen, a veteran of space warfare with an iron will, stood before her command deck, her gaze fixed on the massive Zyphorian ships that dwarfed even the largest of human vessels. Her reputation as a strategist was unparalleled, and her next words would echo through history, regardless of the outcome. "Open a channel to the Zyphorian flagship," she ordered, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. Her communications officer, a young lieutenant named Harper, nodded and worked quickly. "Channel open, Admiral." On the view screen, the face of General Thraz, the Zyphorian commander, appeared. His features were hard and angular, typical of his species, with a glint of curiosity in his eyes. The Zyphorians, known for their advanced technology and expansionist policies, had underestimated the humans, viewing them as a young race barely worth noting. "General Thraz," Admiral Chen began, her voice calm but assertive. "This is Admiral Maya Chen of the Earth Defense Force. You are in violation of several interstellar accords by entering our solar system without declaration. I recommend you withdraw your fleet immediately." General Thraz responded with a dismissive sneer. "Admiral Chen, we are aware of your regulations. We consider this system as potential territory for expansion. You cannot possibly hope to—" He was cut off abruptly as Admiral Chen raised her hand. "This is not a negotiation, General. I will not debate our rights to defend our home. Withdraw now or face the consequences." The Zyphorian's demeanor shifted, his eyes narrowing. "And what consequences would those be, human?" Admiral Chen's response was icy, her resolve clear. "We will engage your fleet, and we will not stop there. If pushed to war, we will pursue you back to Zyphoria and beyond. Your worlds will burn." The threat was not made lightly. Behind Chen's calm exterior lay a well-prepared strategy for a war that could stretch across the stars. Humanity had developed weapons and tactics that could level playing fields against more technologically advanced foes. General Thraz paused, his face betraying a flicker of doubt. This was not the response he had expected from a supposedly inferior race. "Consider this your only warning," Chen added, her tone final. The communication link was severed abruptly, leaving the command center in silence. The crew turned to their admiral, awaiting orders, ready for a conflict they hoped to avoid, but were prepared to engage in. "Prepare all hands for possible engagement," Admiral Chen commanded, turning to face her crew. "I hope for peace, but we will be ready for war." As the alien fleet lingered, a tense wait began. The Earth's fate hung in the balance, hinging on the decision of an alien general and the resolve of the human race to defend their home against any odds. Following the terse exchange with Admiral Chen, General Thraz retreated to the solitude of his command office aboard the Zyphorian flagship, Dominion. The dimly lit room, adorned with tactical displays and the vibrant, shifting colors of Zyphorian script, reflected the tension that had gripped him. He was not accustomed to being defied so boldly, especially not by a species as young as humanity. Thraz paced before a large holographic map of the solar system, his mind racing through scenarios. He tapped a control panel, and the image zoomed in on Earth, Mars, and their orbital defenses. His advisor, Commander Silex, a seasoned officer with a keen understanding of interspecies diplomacy, joined him, observing the admiral's contemplations. "General, the humans are resolute," Silex said cautiously. "Perhaps we underestimated their capability and willingness to defend their territory." Thraz grunted, his eyes fixed on the swirling red hologram of Mars. "Or perhaps they bluff. Our intelligence suggests their military, though advanced, should not be capable of sustaining a full-scale conflict against us." "But if they are not bluffing?" Silex pressed, his voice a rare note of concern in the otherwise stoic chamber. "We test their resolve," Thraz decided, his voice hard as the rarest Zyphorian diamond. "A strike, swift and precise. Mars is less fortified than Earth and more crucial to their interplanetary operations. We cripple their outpost there and we see how they respond." Silex nodded. though his concern lingered. And the consequences? Either they fold, and we negotiate from a position of strength, or they fight, and we engage as planned. Prepare the assault fleets. Target Mars, Thraz commanded, his decision final. Within hours, the Zephyrian fleet repositioned subtly, cloaking their movements in the shadow of a passing asteroid cluster. Small elite units aboard stealth cruisers detached from the main fleet, making a silent course toward Mars. The operation was designed to be over before the Earth's forces could mount a credible response. Back on Earth, Colonel Raj Singh, the military governor of the Mars colony, received an urgent communication from Earth's Space Command. The transmission was brief, a simple alert to a potential imminent threat, with Admiral Chen's orders to heighten security and prepare for possible engagement. Singh, a grizzled veteran of space conflicts, knew that the quiet of Mars's red deserts was about to be shattered. As the Zephyrian ships approached Mars, their stealth technology keeping them just a whisper in the vastness of space, the colony's radar systems finally caught a flicker of the incoming danger. Singh acted swiftly, mobilizing his forces into defensive positions and alerting the planetary defense batteries. The first strike was devastating, a barrage of energy pulses that disabled several key power installations and sowed chaos among the colony. But the response from the Mars defenses was equally fierce. High-energy lasers and missile systems lashed out into the dark, seeking the shadowy figures of the Zephyrian attackers. The battle for Mars had begun, and with it, the first true test of humanity's resolve in the face of the Zephyrian threat. As the conflict escalated, both sides were about to learn the true cost of their ambitions. Colonel Raj Singh watched from the command center of the Mars Defense Hub as the first alerts of the Zephyrian attack lit up the monitors. Mars, a key outpost for humanity's space mining operations and scientific research, was bustling with activity. The initial strike had knocked out several critical facilities, casting swaths of the colony into darkness and emergency red lights. "Mobilize all units! Activate emergency protocols and get those defense batteries online," Singh barked orders, his voice echoing off the metallic walls of the command center. The staff moved with practiced urgency, their training kicking in amidst the chaos. Outside, the Martian landscape was illuminated by explosions and defensive fire. The sky, a dusty screen of stars, was streaked with the trails of missiles and the eerie glows of energy weapons. The Zephyrian stealth cruisers, now visible, hovered like dark specters, unleashing their payload toward the human defenses. Lieutenant Kara Walsh, commanding one of the surface-to-air missile units, targeted the nearest Zephyrian cruiser. "Locking on target," she announced through the comms. With a confirming beep, her console lit up green. "Fire!" The missiles soared into the Martian night, tracing a fiery path towards the enemy. The impact was direct and devastating. The Zephyrian cruiser shuddered as its shields failed, and secondary explosions blossomed from its hull. Cheers erupted from the human soldiers, a brief moment of triumph amidst the onslaught. However, the Zephyrians adapted quickly. They shifted tactics, deploying ground troops in armored exosuits designed for the harsh Martian environment. These troops began advancing on the main defense batteries, their movements swift and coordinated. "Ground forces incoming!" shouted Sergeant Leo Grant, who led a squad stationed near the primary battery. "Set up a perimeter and hold them back!" His squad, armed with plasma rifles, took positions behind the makeshift barricades. The Zephyrian ground troops were formidable, their exosuits enhancing their strength and speed. The battle turned into a gritty, close-quarters conflict, with both sides exchanging fire across the red sands. Explosions sent clouds of fine, iron-rich dust into the air, creating a surreal, foggy battlefield. Back at the command center, Colonel Singh monitored the advancing enemy forces. He made a quick decision. "Deploy the drones," he ordered. "Let's give them a taste of our tech." The drone fleet, a recent addition to Mars's defenses, consisted of autonomous flying units equipped with light lasers and surveillance capabilities. As they swarmed over the battlefield, the tide began to turn. The drones harassed the Zephyrian troops, breaking their formations and allowing human forces to push them back. Despite the intense battle, the human forces managed to hold their ground. The Zephyrian attack, though fierce, was repelled in several key areas. By dawn on Mars, the red sands were littered with the remnants of the conflict, burned-out exosuits, shattered drones, and craters marking the impacts of the night's fury. In the aftermath, Colonel Singh surveyed the damage, his expression grim but resolute. "Report losses and assess damages," he instructed his aide, "and get me a direct line to Admiral Chen. She needs to know the Zephyrians aren't just testing us, they're pushing for war." The outcome of the Mars incident rippled through the galaxy, reaching the Council of United Species in a flurry of emergency communications and diplomatic alerts. Ambassador Jonas Becker, Earth's representative, prepared to address the assembly, a diverse group of alien civilizations, each with its own agenda and perspective on the burgeoning conflict between Earth and the Zephyrians. The vast chamber of the Council was filled with representatives from dozens of star systems, their varied forms ranging from the gaseous Centauri to the crystalline structures of the Valari. The atmosphere was tense, with many members curious to see how humanity would handle its plea for support against a formidable foe like the Zephyrians. Jonas approached the central podium, his datapads clutched in one hand, a series of holographic images and reports floating beside him, ready to illustrate the severity of the situation. "Esteemed members of the Council," he began, his voice echoing through the chamber, "I come before you not just as a representative of Earth, but as a harbinger of a threat that concerns us all." He paused, letting his words sink in before continuing. "The Zephyrian attack on Mars was unprovoked and a clear violation of several interstellar accords, which many of us here have pledged to uphold. If such actions go unchecked, it could set a dangerous precedent for all star systems." Jonas displayed images of Mars's ravaged landscapes, the burning facilities, and the human and Zephyrian casualties. "This is not just an attack on humanity. It is an attack on the stability and peace of our entire galaxy. Today it is Mars. Tomorrow it could be any of your worlds." The Centauri representative, a shifting cloud of gas within a containment suit, emitted a series of low hums translated into speech. "Humanity seeks allies in its war," it articulated. "Yet how do we justify entering a conflict that appears to be a territorial dispute between emerging powers?" Jonas was prepared for this skepticism. "It's true that we seek allies in our defense," he acknowledged. "But more importantly, we seek to preserve a galactic order where no species, no matter how powerful, can impose its will unilaterally on another." The Valari delegate, reflecting light from its crystalline body, pulsed with a bright glow, a sign of agitation. "The Zephyrians have long been known to us as ambitious, but they have also been partners in trade and cooperation. What guarantees can Earth provide that they are not the aggressors as claimed by Zephyria?" "We offer transparency," Jonas responded quickly. "We invite any of you to send observers to our system, to witness our commitment to peace, and to see firsthand the aggression we face. Furthermore, we are willing to submit all evidence to an independent investigatory committee of the Council." The debate continued for hours. Some species expressed direct support, moved by the human plea and concerned about the Zephyrian threat to their own territories. Others remained wary, cautious of becoming entangled in a war that might spread across the galaxy. As the session adjourned, no definitive alliance was formed, but Jonas had succeeded in sowing seeds of doubt about the Zephyrians and garnering sympathy for Earth's plight. Several species agreed to send observers to the solar system, a minor victory in the grand scheme, but a crucial first step in building a coalition. Back on the human frontier, tension escalated as the USS Aurora, a key vessel in Earth's interstellar fleet, docked at the neutral Icarus station for resupply and minor repairs. Lieutenant Nora Kim, the ship's chief security officer, patrolled the corridors, aware of the heightened risks in the current climate. The Icarus station, a sprawling hub connecting various star systems, was a melting pot of species and intentions, making it a hotbed for espionage and covert operations. As the Aurora's crew went about their duties, Nora received an alert from the engineering section. "Lieutenant, you need to see this," said Chief Engineer Malik, his voice tense. Rushing to the engine room, Nora found Malik standing over a dismantled panel. "What's going on?" she asked, surveying the exposed wiring and circuitry. "We found this attached to the auxiliary power unit," Malik explained, holding up a small device, its design sleek and unfamiliar. "It's not ours. Looks like a sabotage device set to disrupt our power mid-flight." Nora examined the device, her mind racing. "Any idea who could have planted this?" "No clue, but whoever did this had access to our schematics. They knew exactly where to place it to cause maximum damage." Nora's security instincts kicked in. "Lock down the ship. No one in or out without my clearance. I want every external access log checked. Find out who's been near this panel." As the Aurora went into lockdown, Nora initiated a sweep of the ship. Security teams moved methodically through each section, checking for further sabotage and interrogating crew members. The tension was palpable, each officer aware that there was likely a saboteur among them. Meanwhile, Nora analyzed the device further. Its technology suggested Zyphorian craftsmanship, but she knew the Zyphorians could have easily sold such devices to other parties. It was a reminder of how complex and dangerous their situation had become. Hours into the investigation, the security team made a crucial discovery. Surveillance footage revealed a member of the crew, a recent recruit named Jansen, tampering with the panel. Nora had him brought to the security office immediately. Jansen was nervous, his eyes darting around as he sat down across from Nora. "Lieutenant, I can explain," he started, but Nora cut him off. "Start talking. Why did you plant this device?" Jansen swallowed hard, his hands trembling. "It's not what you think. I was approached by someone when we last stopped at the Centauri base. They knew things about me, about my family. They said if I didn't help them, my brother, who's stationed on the frontier, would be in danger." Nora's expression softened slightly, understanding the difficult position Jansen was in. "Who approached you? Zyphorians?" "I don't know. They kept their identity hidden, but they promised no one would get hurt. They just wanted to slow down the Aurora." "Espionage doesn't work that way," Nora replied sternly. "Any sabotage on a military vessel is an act of war. You put us all in danger." Realizing the gravity of his mistake, Jansen provided Nora with all the details of his contacts. With this information, Nora developed a larger operation to uncover the network behind the sabotage. Captain Lucas Brand stood at the helm of the human warship, defiant, as it approached the dense and swirling mists of the Orion Nebula. The nebula, a region known for its complex gas clouds and magnetic anomalies, was a strategic location, hiding a crucial Zyphorian military outpost. Lucas, a tactical genius renowned for his audacious maneuvers, was about to lead a daring assault that could shift the balance of power in the ongoing conflict. The mission was high risk. The nebula's unpredictable conditions could disable even the most advanced starships if they were not careful. But it also offered the perfect cover, allowing the Defiant and its accompanying fleet to close in on the Zyphorian base undetected. "Prepare to enter the nebula. All hands brace for potential turbulence," Lucas ordered, his voice calm but firm. The crew acknowledged, each member performing their duties with the precision that came from rigorous training and a clear understanding of the stakes involved. As they penetrated the outer layers of the nebula, sensor operators worked overtime, adjusting their instruments to cut through the electromagnetic interference. "Visuals are down by 40%, sir, relying on infrared and sonar feedback," reported Lieutenant Granger, the chief sensor operator. "Keep me updated on any anomalies," Lucas responded, eyes fixed on the forward screen, which displayed a murky, shifting pattern of colors and shapes. Minutes felt like hours as the fleet navigated through the nebula. Then, an alert sounded. "Contact. Zyphorian scouts detected at 316, moving to intercept," Granger announced. Lucas weighed his options quickly. "Divert power to shields and prepare to engage. Let's not let them report back." Combat in the nebula was chaotic. The swirling gases and limited visibility added an element of unpredictability that was both a hindrance and a help. The human ships, smaller and more agile compared to the bulky Zyphorian vessels, used this to their advantage. The Defiant led the charge, its cannons firing pulses of concentrated energy that lit up the nebula with each strike. Zyphorian scouts, caught off guard, scrambled to respond, but two were quickly disabled, their wreckage disappearing into the colorful fog. Push forward to the outpost coordinates. This strike must count, Lucas ordered, sensing the momentum was on their side. Approaching the outpost, the human fleet prepared for a full assault. The Zyphorian base, revealed by its energy emissions cutting through the nebula, was more formidable than expected, bristling with weaponry and shielded by a dense particle field. We'll need to use the nebula's magnetic pulses to our advantage, Lucas planned aloud. Time the next pulse. Fire all cannons on my mark to overload their shields. The crew coordinated their attack, waiting for the natural surge of the nebula's energy. As the pulse peaked, Lucas gave the order, "Now!" The fleet unleashed a barrage of firepower, amplified by the nebula's own energy. The base's shields flickered and failed under the onslaught. With the shields down, Lucas led a ground team to secure the outpost. The battle on the surface was fierce, with Zyphorian defenders utilizing their superior strength in close combat. However, the human forces, equipped with powered exoskeletons and advanced weaponry, matched their intensity, gradually overtaking the base. Securing the outpost provided the humans with critical intelligence on Zyphorian movements and technology. It also served as a significant blow to the enemy's operational capabilities in the region. As the Defiant and its fleet emerged from the nebula, victorious but battered, Captain Lucas Brand knew that this victory was just a step in the larger war. However, it was a clear message to the Zyphorians and the galaxy. Humanity was not just defending, it was capable of striking deep into enemy territory and winning. While battles raged in space, another kind of war, a war of shadows and deception, unfolded within the ranks of humanity itself. Reports had surfaced of humans colluding with the Zyphorians, driven by various motives, from profit to coercion. These betrayals posed a significant risk, threatening to undermine the Earth's strategic positions and morale. Special Agent Liam Walsh was assigned to uncover these traitors and neutralize the threat they posed. Liam, operating under the Defense Intelligence Agency, began his investigation on Earth, focusing initially on a series of suspicious communications intercepted between known human collaborators and Zyphorian contacts. The information led him to a clandestine meeting in a bustling spaceport on Luna, Earth's moon. Disguised as a freight handler, Liam observed the crowded docks, where cargo and passengers from across the solar system intermingled. His target was a mid-level military strategist, Captain Harlan Doyle, who had unexpectedly altered his routine, scheduling a secretive off-the-books flight to a neutral station. As Doyle approached a secluded docking bay, Liam followed discreetly, recording equipment at the ready. Doyle met with a humanoid figure shrouded in a hooded cloak, a common sight in the diverse cultural tapestry of Luna, but suspicious in this context. Liam zoomed in with his visor, capturing their conversation. The audio was muffled by the bustling background noise, but enhancements would later reveal the damning nature of their discussion, plans to sabotage Earth's supply lines to the outer colonies. With enough evidence gathered, Liam waited for Doyle to part ways with the mysterious figure before moving in for the arrest. "Captain Doyle, you need to come with me. You're under arrest for treason," Liam declared, stepping out of the shadows. Doyle, caught off guard but surprisingly calm, didn't resist. "You don't understand, Walsh. There are bigger games at play here than you realize." "Save it for your debrief," Liam retorted, cuffing Doyle securely. As they walked to the security station, Doyle's words echoed in Liam's mind, hinting at a larger conspiracy. The investigation deepened as Liam accessed Doyle's secured files, revealing a network of collaborators spread across Earth's defense system. This network included high-ranking officers, influential civilians, and even members of the diplomatic corps, each playing a part in a complex web of betrayal. Liam presented his findings to his superiors, leading to a series of rapid, covert arrests. Each arrest provided more data, feeding into a growing picture of a multi-layered infiltration strategy by the Zyphorians, designed to weaken humanity from within. The exposure of the traitor ring sent shockwaves through human command structures, leading to tightened security protocols and a re-evaluation of loyalty vetting processes. The scandal also had a chilling effect on the morale of Earth's forces, reminding them that the enemy might be closer than they thought. Commander Zoe Parker sat at the helm of the Spectre, a specialized interceptor ship designed for high-speed pursuit and reconnaissance. stationed just beyond the asteroid belt of the Sol system. Her mission was to intercept and capture a Zephyrian scout ship that had been detected slipping through Earth's outer defenses. The Spectre's advanced propulsion systems and stealth capabilities made it the ideal vessel for this high-stakes chase. As the Spectre cruised through the asteroid belt, Zoe kept her eyes glued to the sensor panel, where the Zephyrian ship's faint trail appeared. The chase was on, and the stakes were high. If the scout returned to its fleet with strategic data on Earth's defenses, it could spell disaster for the upcoming battles. "Keep on it, Ensign," Zoe directed her sensor officer, who nodded, adjusting the settings to enhance the tracking resolution. The Spectre maneuvered deftly between asteroids, its engines humming quietly to avoid detection. Suddenly, the scout ship made a sharp turn into a dense asteroid cluster, a risky move designed to shake pursuers. "They're trying to lose us in the debris field," Zoe observed, her voice calm yet assertive. "Match their trajectory and increase shield output. No mistakes." The Spectre followed, the proximity alarms blaring as they skirted large rocks and icy comets. It was a dangerous game of cat and mouse, with both ships pushing their limits in the hazardous environment. Zoe's pilot, Lieutenant Ramirez, was a skilled navigator, weaving through the obstacles with precision. "We're gaining on them, Commander," Ramirez reported, a hint of excitement in his tone despite the tension. As they cleared the asteroid cluster, the scout ship appeared directly ahead, its engines flaring as it attempted to break away into open space. "Prepare the electromagnetic pulse," Zoe ordered. "On my mark!" The Zephyrian ship, sensing the imminent threat, unleashed a barrage of rear laser fire, forcing the Spectre to swerve dramatically. "Hold steady," Zoe commanded, her focus unwavering. "Now, Ramirez!" Ramirez deployed the pulse, a burst of electromagnetic energy that surged forward and enveloped the scout ship. The ship's shields flickered and failed, its systems shorted out by the intense energy wave. Disabled, it drifted helplessly in space. "Got them!" Ramirez exclaimed, relief washing over him. Zoe nodded in approval, then switched her console to communication mode. "This is Commander Zoe Parker of the Spectre. You are in violation of multiple armistice zones and have engaged in espionage against Earth. Surrender immediately and prepare to be boarded." The response from the scout ship was static at first, then a crackled voice came through. "We surrender. We have no further combat capabilities." As Zoe led a team to board the disabled Zephyrian ship, they found critical data on Zephyrian fleet movements and planned attacks, information that could give Earth a significant tactical advantage. The successful capture of the scout ship not only prevented potential disaster, but also provided Earth's commanders with a treasure trove of intelligence. Returning to base, Zoe felt a surge of pride. The Spectre and its crew had not only survived the great chase, but had turned the tables on their cunning foe, proving once again the resilience and bravery of Earth's defenders. After the successful interception of the Zephyrian scout ship, Earth's military leaders, armed with new intelligence, planned a bold offensive against a key Zephyrian stronghold, the planet Andoria. Sergeant Max Harper was tasked with leading a ground assault team, part of a larger operation to seize control of the planet and disrupt Zephyrian supply lines. As the human fleet approached Andoria, a heavily fortified world deep within Zephyrian territory, the tension among the troops was palpable. Max, a seasoned veteran known for his calm under fire, briefed his team on the dropship as they prepared for descent. "Our objective is clear," Max began, his voice steady over the hum of the dropship's engines. "We secure the eastern sector of the capital, disable their defense grid, and hold the position until reinforcements arrive. This is a coordinated strike with multiple teams, so precision is key." The dropships descended through Andoria's thick, turbulent atmosphere, flak cannons and surface-to-air missiles greeting them as they approached the surface. The ships maneuvered evasively, dodging incoming fire, a testament to the skills of their pilots. Landing amidst chaos, Max's team quickly disembarked, taking cover as enemy fire rained down. The cityscape was a mix of high-rise structures and sprawling complexes, providing both cover and challenges. Max pointed to a nearby building. "Alpha Team, secure that tower. It's our vantage point. Bravo, with me to the substations." The fight through the streets was brutal. Zephorian forces, well prepared for an assault, engaged with relentless ferocity. However, the humans' superior tactical training and the element of surprise gained from the intelligence provided by the captured scout ship gave them an edge. As Max and Bravo team reached the first substation, they encountered stiff resistance. A heated firefight ensued, with plasma blasts illuminating the dim streets. Using a combination of drones and ground forces, Max's team eventually overran the substation, setting charges to disable the power grid. Meanwhile, Alpha Team had secured the tower, establishing a forward command post. From this position, they directed artillery strikes and provided sniper support, disrupting enemy reinforcements trying to retake the substation. With the defense grid offline, the main human fleet began its bombardment of strategic targets, careful to avoid areas that could cause civilian casualties. Andoria's sky lit up with the explosions of ordnance, a grim light show that underscored the stakes of the siege. After hours of intense combat, reinforcements finally arrived, securing the sector and providing much-needed relief to Max and his team. The capture of Andoria's capital was a significant blow to the Zephorians, cutting off a major supply route and giving Earth's forces a crucial foothold in enemy territory. Exhausted but victorious, Max stood amid the ruins of the substation, his team's success a testament to their skill and determination. The battle for Andoria was far from over, but the initial victory bolstered the morale of Earth's forces and demonstrated their capability to launch effective offensives deep within enemy lines. After the significant victory at Andoria, Earth's military command initiated a bold plan to strike at the very heart of Zephorian power. The target was Zephoria's capital, a fortified city on the planet's largest continent, known for its intricate defense systems and heavy military presence. A covert operation was devised, involving an elite team of operatives, including sniper Eva Martinez, tasked with infiltrating the capital to take out key Zephorian leaders and cripple their command structure. Eva and her team, disguised in Zephorian armor, slipped into the capital aboard a commandeered supply vessel. The city was a sprawling metropolis of towering structures and glowing energy hubs, reflecting the Zephorians' advanced technological prowess. Remember, our mission is to sow chaos and disrupt their command long enough for our main forces to begin a frontal assault, briefed Captain Darren Cole, the team leader, as they disembarked in a less monitored sector of the spaceport. The team made their way through the bustling city streets, blending in with the local population and military personnel. Eva's role was crucial. Her sharpshooting skills were needed to eliminate high-value targets discreetly, allowing the rest of the team to plant explosives at critical infrastructure points. As night fell, the team positioned themselves near the central command complex, a towering edifice surrounded by security drones and patrolling guards. Eva found her spot atop a nearby building, her sniper rifle equipped with a silencer and advanced targeting optics. "Targets confirmed," whispered Eva through her comms, her eyes scanning the command complex's windows. One by one, Zephorian generals appeared within her sights, unaware of the danger lurking in the shadows. With precise, controlled breaths, Eva took her shots. Each pull of the trigger sent a silent bolt of death towards the unsuspecting officials. Down in the streets, chaos erupted as her targets fell, causing confusion and fear among the Zephorian forces. Meanwhile, other team members infiltrated the energy stations, setting charges that would disrupt the city's power grid. The explosions were timed to coincide with Eva's final shots, maximizing the pandemonium and crippling the enemy's ability to respond effectively. As the city plunged into darkness, Eva and her team exfiltrated towards the extraction point, evading emergency response units now swarming the capital. The operation, though risky, was executed flawlessly, dealing a severe blow to the Zephorian leadership and military operations. Back at the human military HQ, reports of the successful operation sparked rounds of applause among the command staff. Admiral Maya Chen, overseeing the war efforts, nodded in approval. "This is more than a military victory. It's a statement. We can reach them anywhere, anytime." The news of the strike spread quickly, demoralizing the Zephorian forces and giving hope to other civilizations under Zephorian influence. The daring operation demonstrated not only human military capabilities, but also their resolve to end the war on their terms. As Ava and her team returned to their base, they were met with cheers and commendations. However, the war was far from over, and preparations for the next phase of operations began immediately, with Earth's forces now more confident and determined to push forward until peace was secured. On Earth, the war effort was bolstered not only by soldiers and strategists, but also by the unsung heroes of the conflict, cryptologists. In a secure facility, buried deep beneath the surface, a team led by the brilliant Dr. Samira Rajani worked tirelessly to crack the complex communication codes of the Zephyrians. Their breakthrough could potentially expose the enemy's strategic plans and prevent further losses. Samira, a renowned expert in alien linguistics and cryptography, had been close to a breakthrough for weeks. Her team had intercepted an encrypted Zephyrian transmission, believed to contain details of a planned counterstrike. The stakes were high, as any advanced knowledge of Zephyrian maneuvers could shift the tide of the ongoing war. "Focus on the modulation pattern here," Samira pointed out to her team, highlighting a section of the waveform on her screen. "I believe it's a key component of their encryption matrix." As her team adjusted their algorithms, Samira paced restlessly. The rhythmic hum of computers filled the room, a stark contrast to the chaotic war raging beyond the walls of their lab. Finally, the screen flickered, and lines of decrypted text began to appear. "We've got it!" exclaimed one of her team members, a young cryptologist named Theo. "It's a dispatch for their fleet, coordinates and timing for a massive strike aimed at our supply lines in the Orion sector." With no time to lose, Samira immediately secured a video link to Admiral Maya Chen's office. "Admiral, we've cracked a significant Zephyrian transmission. I'm sending you the details now." Admiral Chen reviewed the information with her aides. "Excellent work, Dr. Rajani. Prepare your team for further intercepts. We need to keep one step ahead." With the critical intelligence in hand, Admiral Chen wasted no time. She convened her top commanders for an emergency meeting to reposition their forces and fortify the targeted sectors, turning what would have been a devastating surprise attack into a prepared defensive stand. Meanwhile, Samira and her team continued their efforts, decrypting more communications that revealed not just military strategies, but also the economic and political pressures within the Zephyrian Empire. These insights proved invaluable, painting a broader picture of the enemy's vulnerabilities and internal dissent. As Earth's forces adjusted their tactics based on the new intelligence, they managed to thwart several critical Zephyrian operations, significantly weakening the enemy's momentum. The success of Samira's team demonstrated the crucial role of intelligence in modern warfare, serving as a key factor in Earth's ongoing campaign against the Zephyrians. Following the strategic advantages gained from Samira Rajani's breakthrough in cryptology, Earth's military forces were poised to launch a series of coordinated strikes across key Zephyrian positions, aiming to reclaim lost territories and further weaken the enemy's hold. Admiral Maya Chen, overseeing the campaign from Earth's command center, called upon her best units for what was to be a pivotal series of operations in the war. Operation Stellar Hammer begins at 0600, Admiral Chen briefed her commanders, the holographic map in front of her dotted with targets and trajectories. "We hit them where it hurts: supply depots, communication hubs, and troop barracks. We cripple their logistics, and we cripple their ability to fight." Captain Lucas Brand, still celebrated for his success in the Nebula skirmish, was tasked with leading the assault on a major Zephyrian supply depot located in the asteroid belt of Zeta Reticuli. His fleet, enhanced with newly developed stealth technology from Earth's advanced research labs, slipped past enemy sensors and launched a surprise attack that left the depot in ruins. Meanwhile, on the forest moon of Yalara, Sergeant Max Harper led a ground force of elite soldiers through dense, alien foliage. Their objective was a communications hub that coordinated Zephyrian fleet movements in the sector. The operation was risky. The moon's native predators were as much a threat as the enemy soldiers. Yet, under the cover of night and guided by intelligence from Earth's cryptologists, Harper's team successfully sabotaged the hub, causing chaos in the Zephyrian command structure. Back on Earth, as reports of successful operations streamed in, morale soared among the human population. News channels broadcasted stories of daring raids and battles won, bolstering support for the war effort and showcasing the bravery and skill of Earth's defenders. In the Zephyrian capital, the impact of these losses was palpable. Energy shortages and communications blackouts caused unrest among the population, and cracks began to show in the Empire's once unassailable facade. High command struggled to maintain order, and whispers of dissent grew louder. Recognizing the shift in momentum, Admiral Chen convened a strategic meeting to discuss the next phase. "We have them reeling," she noted, analyzing the latest intelligence data. "Now, we need to prepare for their countermeasures. They will be desperate, and that makes them dangerous." The Council agreed on a dual approach. Continue the offensive to keep the Zephyrians off balance, and strengthen defenses around key human colonies and outposts, anticipating retaliatory strikes. As the war progressed, Earth's forces captured several critical systems, which not only deprived the Zephyrians of resources, but also provided strategic platforms for launching further operations deep into enemy territory. In a significant turn of events, several Zephyrian sectors, influenced by the ongoing disruptions and the effectiveness of Earth's campaigns, began to express desires for ceasefire talks. This was a testament to the weakening resolve within the Zephyrian ranks, spurred by the relentless pressure exerted by Earth's military. As the war continued, both sides found themselves grappling with dwindling resources and the need for technological advancements to gain the upper hand. On Earth, the focus shifted toward innovation as traditional methods of warfare began to reach their limits against the resilient Zephyrian forces. Dr. Leo Sato, a leading engineer in advanced propulsion systems, emerged as a key figure in this new phase of the war. Dr. Sato and his team had been working on a classified project known as the Prometheus Drive, a revolutionary propulsion system that promised to dramatically increase the speed and maneuverability of Earth's spacecraft. Amid the urgency of the war, they pushed the boundaries of physics and engineering to bring the Prometheus Drive from theory to reality. "Testing the Prometheus Drive under combat conditions will be risky," Dr. Sato briefed Admiral Chen via a secure communication link. "But if successful, it could allow us to outmaneuver the Zephyrian fleet and strike at locations previously beyond our reach." Admiral Chen, understanding the potential game-changer the Prometheus Drive represented, gave the green light for a field test during an upcoming battle at the Nebula front, where Earth forces were preparing to defend against a major Zephyrian offensive. Meanwhile, the Zephyrians, aware of their waning advantage and desperate to regain momentum, turned to their own form of innovation. They developed the Scourge device, an energy weapon capable of disrupting the electronic systems of entire fleets. The deployment of this new weapon at the Nebula front was intended to cripple Earth's forces and shift the war back in their favor. The battle at the Nebula front was intense. As Earth's ships, equipped with the experimental Prometheus Drive, zipped through space with unprecedented speed, they dodged waves of energy pulses from the Zephyrian Scourge device. The scene was a chaotic dance of flashing lights and explosive countermeasures. Captain Lucas Brand, piloting one of the newly equipped ships, felt the raw power of the Prometheus Drive. "It's like breaking the chains of gravity," he reported, maneuvering with ease around Zephyrian attacks that would have been lethal just weeks prior. However, the initial success of the Prometheus Drive was met with complications. Several ships experienced malfunctions mid-battle due to the untested nature of the technology, leading to critical vulnerabilities. Quick thinking and robust backup systems managed to save most of the affected ships, but the lesson was clear. Innovation came with its own set of risks. On the Zephyrian side, the Scourge device initially caused havoc among Earth's defenses, but the humans quickly adapted their tactics, employing hardened communication lines and fallback manual controls. The resilience and adaptability of Earth's forces began to turn the tide once again, as they learned to counteract the new Zephyrian weapon. The battle ended with Earth retaining control of the Nebula front, but both sides were forced to reconsider their strategies. The war had evolved into a high-stakes race for technological superiority, where each new invention could potentially determine the outcome of the conflict. Back on Earth, Dr. Sato and his team went back to the drawing board, determined to refine the Prometheus drive and fix its vulnerabilities. Similarly, the Zephorians worked to enhance the Scourge device, setting the stage for a continuing war that was as much about innovation as it was about territory and power. The war between Earth and the Zephorians had reached a fever pitch, with both sides unleashing their newest technologies in hopes of securing a definitive advantage. Just as the conflict seemed destined to escalate further, a mysterious third party entered the fray: the Black Fleet. Known only through sparse and elusive reports, this enigmatic group had remained a shadowy presence in the galaxy, rumored to be ancient guardians of galactic peace, possessing technology far surpassing even the Zephorians. The appearance of the Black Fleet during a critical skirmish at the outer edge of the Vega system brought immediate and dramatic changes to the battlefield. Their ships, sleek and massive, materialized from the void, projecting powerful energy shields that disrupted both human and Zephorian combat operations. Admiral Maya Chen, aboard her flagship overseeing the Vega system skirmish, watched in disbelief as the Black Fleet's vessels intervened. "All units, stand down and regroup. Let's assess this new variable," she ordered, her voice a mix of caution and intrigue. The Black Fleet's leader, who identified himself only as Commander Vale, broadcasted a message across all frequencies, directed at both warring factions. "This conflict has reached a threshold that can no longer be ignored. We intervene now as caretakers of peace and stability in the galaxy. Cease your hostilities immediately, or face consequences dictated by the treaties of the ancients, to which you are all bound, whether known to you or not." The ultimatum from Commander Vile brought an uneasy ceasefire to the Vega system. Diplomats from Earth and the Zephorian Empire scrambled to understand and respond to this new authority that had so decisively displayed its power. Negotiations ensued, with the Black Fleet mediating between Earth and Zephoria. The talks revealed that the Black Fleet had been established eons ago by a coalition of ancient civilizations, some of which had vanished long before humanity ventured into space. Their primary mandate was to oversee and intervene in interstellar conflicts that threatened the broader cosmic order. The presence of the Black Fleet altered the strategic calculations of both Earth and Zephoria. Earth's representatives, led by Ambassador Jonas Becker, pushed for a resolution that would prevent future conflicts and establish a new framework for galactic peace. Meanwhile, the Zephorians, wary of the Black Fleet's power, sought to negotiate terms that would allow them to maintain their sovereignty without appearing weak. After intense negotiations, a treaty was drafted, known as the Vega Accord. Under the terms of the accord, Earth and Zephoria agreed to a set of boundaries and rules of engagement, overseen by the Black Fleet. Both sides also committed to disarmament of their most destructive weapons and pledged to engage in trade and cultural exchanges to foster better relations. The Vega Accord was celebrated as a monumental achievement in diplomacy and a new beginning for interspecies relations in the galaxy. Earth's leadership hailed the treaty as a victory for peace and stability, while the Zephorians, though begrudgingly, acknowledged the necessity of compromise for the greater good. Following the unexpected intervention of the Black Fleet and the establishment of the Vega Accord, tensions between Earth and Zephoria simmered down from open conflict to a wary standoff. Diplomat Jonas Becker found himself at the forefront of this new phase, tasked with navigating the complex political waters of post-war relations and ensuring the enforcement of the Accord's terms. Jonas, stationed at the newly established Interstellar Relations Bureau on Earth, coordinated closely with Zephorian delegates and representatives from the Black Fleet, who acted as neutral overseers. The process was fraught with challenges, as both sides had deeply entrenched suspicions about each other's intentions. "The key here is to build trust," Jonas explained to his team during a strategy session. "We have to move beyond our past grievances and focus on mutual benefits. Trade, technology exchange, and joint security measures are our best tools for fostering a lasting peace." However, not all were in favor of rapid normalization of relations. In the shadows, factions within both human and Zephyrian societies worked to undermine the peace process. These hardliners, unable to let go of the animosities of war, plotted to sabotage the diplomatic efforts. One such plot came to light when a human fringe group attempted to assassinate a Zephyrian diplomat during a summit on Mars. The attempt was foiled, thanks to the vigilance of Earth's security forces, but the incident threatened to derail the delicate peace process. Jonas and his Zephyrian counterpart, Ambassador Thal, called an emergency meeting to address the security breach. This attack is not just a criminal act, it's a direct challenge to the Vega Accord, Jonas stated in the meeting, which included top diplomats and Black Fleet advisors. Ambassador Thal, expressing his government's outrage but also its commitment to peace, agreed. We must use this incident as a catalyst to strengthen our resolve. Let us enhance our cooperative security measures and show our people that peace is indeed stronger than any force that seeks to divide us. In response to the crisis, Jonas proposed the creation of a joint task force to investigate and counteract extremist threats. This task force would include members from Earth, Zephyria, and the Black Fleet, symbolizing a tripartite commitment to upholding the Vega Accord. The proposal was met with mixed reactions, but with the backing of the Black Fleet, it eventually gained approval. The establishment of the task force marked a significant step forward in interstellar diplomacy, showcasing an unprecedented level of cooperation between former foes. As the task force began its operations, Jonas worked tirelessly to promote its achievements and the broader benefits of the Vega Accord. He engaged with media, participated in public forums, and helped organize cultural exchanges that brought human and Zephyrian citizens closer together. Despite the ongoing challenges and the undercurrents of dissent, Jonas's efforts slowly started to bear fruit. Public opinion on both sides showed increasing support for the peace process, and incidents of violence decreased significantly. Jonas's diplomacy under fire had not only managed to keep the fragile peace intact, but had also laid the groundwork for a new era of cooperation in the galaxy. As he prepared for the next round of negotiations, he remained cautiously optimistic about the future, aware that the path to lasting peace was long and fraught with potential setbacks, but also filled with immense possibilities. In the aftermath of the Vega Accord, and amidst the delicate peace fostered by diplomat Jonas Becker and his team, a surprising development unfolded on the front lines. A joint military exercise, designed to strengthen the newfound alliance between Earth and Zephyria and to demonstrate the efficacy of the Accord, inadvertently became a crucible for unity under unexpected circumstances. The exercise, held in the neutral zone of the Theta system, involved combined fleet maneuvers and ground operations, integrating human and Zephyrian military units for the first time. Sergeant Max Harper was assigned to lead a mixed squad consisting of both human and Zephyrian soldiers. The integration was challenging due to the lingering distrust and the vastly different military cultures and protocols. During a simulated capture-the-flag operation on one of Theta's moons, the exercise took a sudden, real-world turn. A group of rogue mercenaries, remnants of a disbanded private military company that had lost much during the war, launched an attack on the exercise, hoping to reignite hostilities between the two species. Caught off guard and initially scattered, Max's squad found themselves under heavy fire. The situation looked dire, and the old instincts of seeing the Zephyrians as the enemy momentarily flared among the human troops. However, Max, recalling the bigger picture of peace and cooperation, rallied his squad. "Listen up! Those aren't the enemy. Those firing on us are. We work together, or none of us gets out of this alive," Max shouted over the din of the battle. The Zephyrian squad leader, Commander Zell, nodded in agreement, quickly issuing complimentary orders in his language. The squad, motivated by the immediate threat to survival, began to coordinate, covering each other's movements and combining their tactical approaches effectively. The skirmish was intense, with the mercenaries employing hit-and-run tactics. However, the combined might and newfound teamwork of Max's squad began to turn the tide. Human sharpshooters took out flanking positions while Zephyrian soldiers used their superior strength to breach enemy barricades, creating openings for their human counterparts. As the fight wound down, with the mercenaries retreating and the joint squad securing the area, a sense of camaraderie emerged among the former adversaries. They had fought side by side, saved each other's lives, and accomplished their objective not just in spite of their differences, but because of them. In the debriefing that followed, both Earth and Zephyrian commanders praised the squad's performance. The incident, while unexpected, proved to be a perfect demonstration of the potential strength of their alliance. It was a compelling testament to the possibility of unity and mutual respect that could be achieved between two vastly different species. News of the battle and the heroics of the joint squad spread quickly, becoming a symbol of the new era of cooperation. Ceremonies were held and medals were awarded, but more importantly, the story became a cornerstone of the ongoing peace efforts, taught in military academies and used in propaganda on both worlds to highlight the benefits of peace and cooperation. Sergeant Max Harper and Commander Zell, once potential foes, now stood as brothers in arms, exemplifying the change that was possible when old enemies chose to forge a new path forward together. As the peace process continued to solidify between Earth and Zephyria, a final challenge loomed on the horizon. Despite the success of diplomatic efforts and joint military exercises, a radical faction within the Zephyrian military, unwilling to accept the changes and the loss of their traditional power, staged a coup. They seized control of the Zephyrian homeworld, capturing key government and military installations, and declared their intention to resume hostilities against Earth. Admiral Maya Chen, recognizing the threat this coup posed not just to the fragile peace, but to the stability of the entire galaxy, convened an emergency session with Earth's top military and political leaders. "We cannot allow this rebellion to undo years of progress towards peace," she declared. "We must support the legitimate Zephyrian government in regaining control or risk a resurgence of full-scale war." With the approval of Earth's government and the backing of the Black Fleet, which also saw the coup as a violation of the Vega Accord, a plan was put into motion. Earth would assist the loyalist Zephyrian forces in retaking their planet. This operation was not only about supporting an ally, but also about ensuring that the hard-won peace endured. The campaign to retake the Zephyrian homeworld was named Operation Final Dawn. It was a massive undertaking involving joint Earth-Zephyrian forces, with Admiral Chen overseeing the space operations and a Zephyrian general, General Kale, commanding the ground troops. The operation commenced with a coordinated orbital assault. Earth's ships, alongside those of the Zephyrian loyalists, engaged the rebels' space defenses, aiming to secure orbit around the planet and provide support for the ground invasion. The battle in space was fierce, with both sides suffering heavy casualties, but the disciplined and combined firepower of the Allied forces gradually gained the upper hand. On the ground, the situation was even more dire. The rebels had fortified their positions around the capital and other strategic locations. General Kale led the Loyalist forces, supported by Earth's Marines, in intense urban warfare. Sergeant Max Harper was among the ground forces, fighting alongside Zephyrian soldiers whom he had trained with during the joint exercises. The urban landscape turned into a labyrinth of firefights and strategic maneuvers, as both sides vied for control of key points. The turning point came when a small team of Earth commandos, including sniper Eva Martinez, managed to infiltrate the rebels' command center. In a daring operation, they captured the rebel leaders, including the head of the radical faction. With their leadership compromised, the rebel forces' morale began to crumble, and they gradually surrendered or retreated. The operation was a hard-fought victory, marked by both triumph and tragedy. The successful retaking of the Zephyrian homeworld not only crushed the military coup, but also reinforced the strength and resilience of the alliance between Earth and Zephyria. In the aftermath, a grand ceremony was held on the Zephyrian capital, attended by dignitaries from across the galaxy, including representatives from the Black Fleet. Admiral Chen and General Kale addressed the gathered crowd, speaking not just of victory in battle, but of the enduring commitment to peace and unity. "The actions we take today and the peace we continue to build will define the future for all our peoples, Admiral Chen proclaimed, her voice echoing through the assembly. Let this be the last stand against division and the first step towards a united galaxy. The ceremony concluded with the raising of both Earth and Zephyrian flags, a symbol of their shared future. The galaxy watched as former enemies became the architects of a new era, one built on the foundations of cooperation, understanding, and shared aspirations for peace.